Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA and I am in West Harlem. Well, specifically I'm in Hamilton Heights. And I actually used to spend quite a bit of time up here. At one point, I took some classes at City College, just down the street that way, more or less. So I'm decently familiar with this area, but while this is a great area for lots of kinds of foods, particularly Dominican cuisine, and there actually used to be an amazing pizza shop, you know, just down the street from here as well, but I think it became sadly a pandemic casualty. This is actually the location of, in my mind, arguably the best ramen shop in all of New York. And yeah, I mean, Harlem, I mean, people wouldn't necessarily think to come up here for ramen. I mean, ramen, people think of like the East Village, they think of like St. Mark's, even parts of New Jersey like Fort Lee, but trust me, this is a great spot, or at least it used to be. I haven't been here since before the pandemic, and before then, it was one of my favorite ramen shops. It was unique in that they sold a fish broth ramen. Now, not that fish broth is not a thing in Japan, but for ramen, typically it's pork or chicken broth, usually pork. It's a great spot, and also it's like a cool atmosphere too. I don't really drink much, but when I used to partake a little bit, they used to have some really good cocktails, so we might try some of those as well. And it's kind of, if I remember correctly, it's kind of in like a basement. Like you could easily walk right by it and not even realize it. Like it's, I don't know, like it really blends in well with the street. So anyways, let's go get some ramen. All right, guys, so we are now outside of ROKC Ramen. I think the ROKC stands for, I think it's Ramen Oysters, shoot, what's the KC? Shoot. Kansas City? Nah, I don't think so. Shoot, what does the KC stand for? I guess I never figured that out. Maybe it's someone's name or something. But anyways, it's really dark inside. I guess they're all about that mood lighting, like that, you know, dark vibe. Luckily, we're at a time of year where they don't open until 5 o'clock, so coming here during lunch, out of the question. But luckily, we came here at a time in the fall when it's still bright outside, and they have one seat. Let me show you. They have one seat. Literally just this one seat outside, and I came here early enough to snag it. So I'm telling you guys, this used to be my #1 favorite like hole-in-the-wall joint. I guess it's not really a secret anymore. You know, the reviews look pretty good now, so now it's quite busy, but this used to be like my secret spot. So secret's out, but as long as the food is still good, I guess that's a good thing. That means more people know about it, right? They don't have a paper menu. Last time they used to, but now they only have these QR codes. Let me see if I can pull up the menu, you know, just through the power of editing. This place, they're known for oysters, but I can't eat oysters due to allergy, but their cocktails are excellent. So I don't really drink. You guys are getting like a very, very rare moment on UA Eats when I will get a cocktail, just because the cocktails here are quite good. So just to show you guys what to expect, I'm gonna get one. But otherwise, they got all sorts of apps. You know, your typical Japanese ramen shop apps, although, you know, some of them are kind of Chinese, because believe it or not, ramen is actually a Chinese food. You heard me right. Ramen is like Japanese Chinese food. It's like, you know, it's Chinese Japanese fusion food. So in Japan, when they eat ramen, I mean, they think of it as Japanese food, but they think of it as like Chinese Japanese food. Kind of like how as Americans, we think of pizza as like Italian American food. They used to have this one cocktail that was served inside of a light bulb. So I'll see if they still have that. And then we'll get their fish ramen, which is what they were really known for back in the day, and an appetizer. So let's order. Let me do the pork bun. And I last came here like 6 years ago. Do you guys still have that cocktail that's in like a light bulb? Do you have the cocktail that's in a light bulb? It's served in like a light bulb? No more. Okay.
Yeah. That was flower cocktail.
Okay.
We don't have it.
You got anything else you might recommend?
Yeah. So I recommend now it's a very popular one. It's a botanical garden.
Okay.
That's very popular right now.
I'll do that one.
Yep.
That sounds good. Sounds similar to the flower one.
Yeah. Botanical garden and one pork bun. Anything else?
And the KYOTO Ramen, that's the one with fish broth?
Yeah, fish and chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. One botanical, one porcupine, one KYOTO Ramen.
Okay, thank you. Arigato. So, all right, this is our cocktail. I really don't know much about alcohol. I'm not much of an expert. I didn't really drink much before either. Now I drink almost completely not at all, but this is what he called the, I think he called this the, what was it called? The garden cocktail, or what was it called again? Botanical garden, I think, but it looks nice, so let's give it a try. Cheers, guys. Oh, it's really good. And I don't even really drink, but I used to make an exception sometimes for this place, you know, when this was my secret place. I do think it's cool that they use this irregularly shaped ice cube, you know, rather than just like a ball or a big block. Really gives it some style. I'm not really sure what that herb or plant they have inside it is, but it's giving this whole thing like a herby, you know, like a kind of like a rosemary taste to it, and the whole cocktail is delicious. Like, it's not too sweet. Like, sometimes these cocktails are way too sweet. Oh, thank you. This is the pork bun. Thank you. It's not too sweet. The alcohol level is like perfect. It's not like, you know, it's so much alcohol that you drink it and you feel like you're, you know, getting drunk by the second. But it's also not too sweet where you can't really taste any of the alcohol, and it's basically just like a fruity drink. So, and it looks beautiful. So yeah, that will probably be one of the very rare instances you see me review booze. But now we got our pork bun. Miku bun, I think is what they call them. So let's try it. Again, guys, a pork belly bun. You know, this looks like a really Chinese thing, right? Particularly maybe Taiwanese. I could be wrong about that, but it does seem like a more Chinese thing than a Japanese thing, right? Because, you know, contrary to popular opinion, ramen is a very Chinese-inspired food. In fact, believe it or not, I actually went to the ramen museum in Japan once, and they said that after the Second World War, there was a big demand for Chinese food because Japanese food is less meat heavy, less greasy, less savory, like it's, you know, more simple. After the war, there was a lot of poverty and people wanted some filling meals, so that's when Chinese food really took off, and hence ramen. So let's give this a try. All right, let's see what we got. The leaf is a little strange, and the sauce on top almost looks like a mayo or mustard, or like a mustardy mayo. Lettuce inside a bun is very strange, and that's almost like a very Western thing, but it's okay. Not everything needs to be traditional. And this ramen stand, this ramen shop is anything but traditional, so. So the bun is only okay, I think. You know, I said things don't necessarily have to be traditional, but sometimes on the flip side, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There is such a thing as too much innovation. I think in this case, I don't know, the sauce just tastes very strange. Like I said, it's very mayo-y, it's very creamy and buttery, but I know that sounds good, but it doesn't really pair with like a Asian ingredient like this pork belly as well as the bao. And oh, thank you. This is the ramen? Well, thank you. Everything's coming fast and furious, which is great. So I was afraid we might lose the light. So good thing everything's coming really quickly. But anyways, I almost would have preferred if they just gave me the pork bun straight up. I think the lettuce and the mayo sauce, to me it's a little too strong, a little too rich. It doesn't really go well with like the Asian like taste profile here. It almost makes me wonder if that lettuce is an attempt to balance the whole thing out, which is a shame because, you know, this whole thing, I was excited for this, but this take on it is not really quite my thing. But now we have what we came here for, the fish ramen. And as far as ramens go, I think this is actually one of the bigger portions. I mean, ramen, ever since becoming trendy, I feel like the bowls get smaller and smaller and the prices get bigger and bigger. But this is a pretty generous portion. See, let me just put the plates together just to show you for scale. Got some chashu, I think a mirin marinated egg, bamboo shoots, and this is looking delicious. So let's just dig right in. Or actually, what I like to do is I like to try the broth first, you know, so I know the purest taste. Okay, this is just the way I remembered it. Oh, you know, I was worried because I'll be honest, I actually think shortly before the pandemic, I might have came here once and it wasn't quite how I remembered it, but it might have just been a bad day because this is exactly as I remembered it at its peak. Wow, fish ramen, it should be more of a thing. To clarify, I don't think it's just fish. I think here it's fish and chicken, but just look at that. Like in America, people tend to like tonkatsu. Shoot, I get them mixed up all the time because they sound so similar. I think tonkatsu is the fried pork. Tonkatsu, there we go. But yeah, you know, the American palate tends to like tonkatsu because it's basically a very fatty, porky, creamy broth, like a milky broth. I used to be a big fan, but you know, where I am in life, I think it tends to be a little too heavy, kind of puts me to sleep. Can only ever be a dinner meal, not like a lunch meal. But this fish, and I think chicken, this fish broth is just so much lighter. The fish flavor is great, like it adds like an umami flavor without being like heavy, like pork does, or beef does either. It's almost like you're getting like healthier protein. It's just not like heavy and greasy, although there is some oil. Like I think this is I think this is a ramen that I can like drink day after day or eat day after day rather than, you know, special occasions like the heavier pork ramens. Oh, let's dig in. You know, these noodles are like perfectly al dente. I mean, just like in pasta, like the doneness of noodles in Asian cuisine is a thing too. You know, some people like it more firm, some people like it more soft. I tend to like it more firm, like a more al dente. And these noodles are like the perfect al dente, perfect springiness. I think one legitimate concern about this kind of broth being not as thick as like pork broth is that maybe it won't cling to the noodles as much as the pork broth does. But that's why just make sure you dunk it in and then quickly eat it while it's still clinging to the noodle. Or you can cheat and, you know, just get some soup in a spoon and then just drink it like this. I mean, Let's try a bit of the chashu. You know, no one likes a dry chashu, so let's soak it in the broth to reheat it and have it take on some of the soup. Oh yeah. Okay, so not one of the best chashus I've had, not one of the better ones, but still solid. I guess I maybe just prefer the chashus. I prefer the chashus that are more fatty. This one is rather lean. That also explains why they weren't able to blowtorch this one. I mean, when they're very fatty, I guess that's when you can blowtorch it and really caramelize it. This piece of pork is on the more lean end. It's not as fatty, so I guess it's healthier, but you know, I guess it's okay. I guess it goes along with the fish broth, like the whole thing's just healthier. So I think this is almost like a more traditional Japanese style chashu. So, you know, just a different style. I'm not gonna fault it for that. I mean, these bamboo shoots kind of all taste the same to me, no matter the shop, but I guess I'll just try one. Yeah, it's just a bamboo shoot with some like chili oil on it. But the chili oil tastes nice. Actually, the chili oil was a nice touch because it, you know, it was like an attempt to jazz up like the relatively boring bamboo shoot ingredient. Often at ramen joints, you gotta pay extra for these eggs. Here, they just gave it to me, so can I pick it up? Yeah, just impale it. Try the marinated egg. Oops. Try the hard-boiled egg. There you go. Don't want to break it. The marinated flavor on that egg is not as strong as some other ones I've had, but it's still good. I mean, it's a hard-boiled egg. Like a subtle, I suppose, like a marinated egg. So overall, not bad. But guys, yeah, I mean, I think that's gonna be it for this vid. I just wanted to, you know, share what used to be my secret spot, not so secret anymore. I mean, I'm glad it's not. Like, I'm glad the word's gotten out. The reviews are great. They totally deserve it. And yeah, I mean, there's tons of great ramen spots in New York. Like New York, actually, compared to like other cities in the US is actually pretty good for Japanese food. Kind of like I say about steak, you ask 10 people or 20 people what your favorite ramen place is in New York, you might get 20 different answers. I mean, there's all sorts of great spots, including chains from Japan even. I just really like this place because I just feel that this is a really unique place. I mean, everything about it is unique. Like the appearance of the place, the vibe. They have a big emphasis on cocktails too, not just ramen. Like when you're inside this place, you feel like you're in like a Japanese bar in Tokyo. You feel like you're in like a, not quite an izakaya, but you feel like you're in like a, you know, like a hip Japanese bar. And the star of the show here being that fish ramen, like you don't often see that. I think even in Japan, fish ramen is not like one of the more popular broths. So everything about this place is just super unconventional and, you know, really unique. And hey, they don't need my help anymore. This used to be my secret place, and now, you know, word of mouth, now this place is super popular. And I'm happy for them. But no, I guess I just wanted to share a place that's near and dear to me with you guys. So, but anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this vid. Thank you so much for watching. We're lucky we were able to get a seat outside because it is starting to, the sun is starting to go down a little bit. So have you been to ROKC Ramen before? And what's your favorite ramen place in New York or anywhere, like in California, anywhere else, Japan, Taiwan, wherever? Let me know in the comments because great minds eat alike. As always, if you like my content, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. Gonna finish this ramen now. So until next time, sorry, dunk it in more of the broth. Gonna finish my ramen now. So until next time, I'll see you later.